Okay. Well, hello and welcome here to the weekend that will see the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup in Puebla. But it is the qualifier for that competition that we focus on today. I'm Adam Cromarty. Great to have you along with us as we get set for this 4-star 1m50 competition. It's going to be a jump-off format, and as you can see on your screen, it's quite well populated. We've got a lot of talent coming forward, some very nice horses, some riders that you see a lot here in Mexico, but also around the world as well, making the journey over to Europe in the summertime. Some of these guys, I know we see a lot of them at Spruce Meadows as well, up in Canada. So this is a great chance to kind of come and watch these partnerships as they take their kind of first foot out towards the World Cup that will take place here on Saturday. We're going to continue on through this first round, and then if there's any tie for first place, we'll be on for a jump off against the clock. But Marina Azevedo is our course designer. She's one of the favourites here, and she's had a busy few weeks. She was down in Ocala a couple of weeks ago, and good to see her building the World Cup here again. We'll take a look at what she has in store for these riders in a couple of, and the time allowed there set at 83 seconds. But Marina's from Brazil, and Marina is our only Olympic level female course designer in the world. Fun fact. It's an absolute scorcher here today. 20 degrees, bright and sunny, very slight breeze, perfect conditions really. And I think these horses and riders Sanchez, a rider who's had many nice horses over the years. This one's a 10-year-old stallion by Elvis to put. And Alberto well involved with the sport here. He's got a bit of a breeding program over in Santander, Spain, but here in Mexico he created a good auction business a few years ago. This is a horse he's had for about 2.5 years. He's produced it up through the grades. He was jumping the horse over in Europe last summer with some good finishes. But let's see what he's going to make at this course, and we'll give you a bit of a tour around as well. It's a metre 50 competition, so most of the fences at 150. This first one maybe a couple of centimetres smaller, just to give them a little bit of a fence to get that rhythm. So we start over that vertical, and then we come right-handed to quite a square oxer at fence number 2. And then left-handed and down to the long side in front of Hospitality here in a bit of a related line. Oxer brings them in at 3, 6 strides down this distance, and we've got a double. Vertical oxer, 1 stride through the middle. Double set at about 1.45 m in height. Left-handed round the corner, Liverpool water tray in quite a delicate 1.50 m vertical. Bit of a dog leg sends them down to the oxer at 6. And we're heading round towards the in-gate here to a 2-stride double oxer to vertical. Nicely through there. We're going to continue on that right-handed line down towards the vertical at 8. 4 strides down to the oxer at fence number 9. And then round that bottom end of this ring again. This is the oxer at 10. 5 strides. Double through 11A and 11B, vertical to vertical, and it's round past the in-gate one final time, round towards the oxer at fence number 12 to finish. So 78.61, as we mentioned, the time allowed set at 83 seconds here. Just a couple of rails down there for Alberto, but all in all, quite a nice round. I think Marina Azevedo has used every single inch of this track. She sends them up and down and round and back, and she's asking, you know, so many different things in terms of the adjustability, being able to keep that rhythm. So I think it's going to be a good test. Three doubles in the course today. Imagine when we get towards the World Cup here on Saturday, we'll see a triple combination. But today we've got 3 doubles. That's a little bit unique. You know, we see it quite a few times, but not all the time. Let's head on next to Francisco Lomelin coming forward with Carolina Las Gallas. Francisco's got a couple of nice horses at the moment, and we saw him here last week. This is a 2-week event, so a lot of the athletes, you know, would use last week as a bit of a warm-up. Chance to get the horses into the ring and, you know, jumping over this material. He had a good top 10 finish with this very horse. I've been watching him ride this horse for a couple of years now. Their first outing together were at Spruce Meadows, where I spent the summer. And his very first international with this horse was right there, back in 2023. Since then, they've just been working on building that consistency. The horse can be a little bit opinionated sometimes, so he just has to try and work to stay nice and quiet, nice and soft, make those little corrections when he has to. See when he kind of uses the rein, the horse just evades that contact a little bit, he's a little bit fussy. He does a nice job of just kind of trying to stay as quiet as he can. When I walk these distances today, they're all very even, regular distances. You know, sometimes you'll find a distance, you know, on the 5 or the 6 strides that are maybe slightly forward or slightly holding. For the average horse, they're all fairly regular distances, and that was a great round. 78.63. We've got our first clear here in this one. Drops his reins, gives the horse a nice big pat there. Very talented little horse. You can see he's got a brain, it's got a lot of blood, and he does a good job just to try and stay nice and soft and ignore that little bit of fussiness. Well, there we go, it's game on. We've got that first clear. We're going to be looking for a second one to guarantee us a jump off. Quick reminder as well, if you are watching on the FEI YouTube channel or on Facebook Live as well on FEI Jumping, I'll keep an eye on those comments. If you've got any questions, if you just want to say hello, feel free to tell me where you're watching from as well. It would be great to get you guys involved with the conversation here as we progress through this first round. And of course all the competition here available as well to watch on demand via Clip My Horse. Let's get this next partnership underway here. Nicolas Pizarro, Chacoas Sermon PS. It's been great to watch Nico produce this horse for the last couple of years. He's had the reins since 2023, but last year was a bit of a breakout season for them. He took this horse over to Europe. He was on the Nations Cup duty at Samarin, which is a really nice venue if you've never been. I was going to say it's new, but I think it's about 10 years old. But yeah, it's definitely worth a visit if you're ever in that area. And then he went to Aachen. Took this horse to Aachen, jumped clear around there. He's got good championship quality, this horse, and it's had a little bit of a rest over the winter time. This is the first time that Nico's bringing the horse out this year. Nico's such a busy man at the show. He's got lots of pupils that he looks after. He produces a lot of horses as well. Oh, just catches that rail, and they're on really delicate cups. You've got good eyesight. Look out for the yellow cups because they're a few millimetres shallower than the white cups, and it makes the question there just very delicate, and we see more and more of those yellow cups, and I think we'll see even more of them on Saturday for the World Cup. Marina's been very nice for them today. You know, it's just technical enough out there. She's given them enough time as well to answer the questions, hasn't she? 75.85 inside the 83-second time allowed. And just one coming down there for Nico. As he just flattened a little bit and caught that behind. Just a quick look over on YouTube. Hi to Paula, who's watching in Pennsylvania. Susan Lynn's in Norway. Good to have you with us, Susan. Najla, I hope I've pronounced that right, is in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Saros EQ is in Canada. Some of these YouTube names are hard. But at the moment, still just that one clear. Francisco Lomelin of Mexico are only clear at this stage. And now we go to Blaze of Glory Z. 12-year-old mare by Balabu Duraway. It's got Berlin lines on the dam side. Carlos Mathler in the saddle for Chile. Carlos' sister Carola has also risen to quite a high level, but this man's been to two Olympic Games, been to the World Equestrian Games. Some top 10 finishes last year with this horse in similar competitions. I really like a dapple grey, and this one's quite striking. Look at the colouring on this one. He's had this ride since the start of 2023. He's just working to keep that nice forward active rhythm here. Horse has a good amount of adjustability. Yeah, that's a shame there, just got the first part of the double. But he's given himself a great setup. Assuming he's wanting to jump this horse in the World Cup here on Saturday, I think he's given that horse the perfect setup there. It's a really nice ride, just a tiny mistake coming in. So finishes up on the 4 fault, 75.18. That's the faster of the two that we've seen on 4 fault, so he slips into second at the moment. About 34 left to come forward here though. Patricio Gomez is watching on YouTube and says this show is from Mexico. It is. We're in Puebla in Mexico. Mildred says hi from Berlin, Germany. We've got Terry Painter watching in Zephyr Falls in Florida. And HTV says a lot of new names. Yeah, it's great to see some new names. I'm not sure if you're talking about the YouTube chat or the competition, but both are true. We're underway here with Inacio Marin, Conchado. He's a man who's been involved with the sport his whole life. He started riding when he was about 4 in Argentina. His dad was a horse trainer, his granddad and great-granddad, both riders and horsemen. This is a rider we've seen at the Pan American Games, but he ended last year with this horse in really good form. He won the Grand Prix qualifier and then finished second place in quite a big Grand Prix on the home soil. Had some good results in Europe as well last year with this horse. And a bit of a fun fact, this one's actually a very good footballer as well. The rider, that is. Well, maybe the horse, who knows? And Inacio loves his football. Rhythmical horse, this one. He doesn't have to work too hard with this. You know, down the distances you can see him take a little bit of a check, but the horse does come back to him. And he just uses that kind of forward upper body, just lets him move forward underneath him and gets the job done. 78.44, we've got to jump off. That's our second clear. One for Mexico and now one for Argentina. Inacio Marin heads through. Jump off guaranteed here in Puebla. For those who have never watched this venue before, you can see the background occasionally, the view that we've got down into Puebla. We're actually sitting right next to an active volcano that sometimes is kind of smoking and smouldering away. So it's a real unique venue. Romero Jimenez Herrera is next. Ampero, 15-year-old gelding. Chaco Blue Lines in there. Necton as well. Mario Agnati owns this one. But Geronimo moved to Mexico back in 2018 to really focus on building a professional career in the sport. And this is a horse he took over the reins of last summer. It's a horse that's had quite a lot of experience over in Europe with previous riders. You know, 15 years of age now, the gelding. That loves life, loves his job, this horse. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, this is a 2-week event in this partnership. Oh! Just a bit of a miscommunication down there. And I was just about to tell you that he actually won a class with this horse last week. He was 11th in the Grand Prix last week. Just comes round to that Liverpool, and that's quite a wide Liverpool compared to the ones that we would normally see. I don't know if the horse maybe just caught the reflection, the glare off the water there, but this horse will have jumped all kinds of waters in the past, so I think maybe just caught him off guard a little bit there. That's a shame, because an experienced horse, and would have been one on the list that you thought may have just gone clear today. So he'll get the 4 faults for the refusal, and of course the 6 seconds added in as well for that disturbance for the rebuild. And then the last one comes down as well, so it's going to be 8 faults in total. 81.77 there. But again, keep an eye on that partnership, because they're getting on so well together. And the way the horse has been going, I think it'd still be a contender here on Saturday. Hi to Tracy Johnson. Said she heard me commentate both times for the World Cup finals in Omaha. Those were great finals, both of them, and both very different as well. They made little changes the second time. So yeah, it was great to be in Omaha as well. Love the stake in Omaha. I'll just just over 30 left to come forwards here. On Pablo Jimenez Torres, an Aircraft 1 now. This is a horse we've seen Antonio Maurer do a lot with in the past. Luis Alejandro Plasencia has ridden the horse as well. Spalia Rexo VDL. We have a Bachmann's Lord Peasy mare. Thomas Fuchs owns the horse. Now, interestingly, Juan Pablo has only competed this horse 3 times. And last week here, he jumped double clear and finished 3rd in the Grand Prix. Talk about coming together quickly. Built that relationship pretty much overnight. A couple of wee changes down that line. Just got to hold it together around this corner. And it's 80.28, but more importantly, it's clear and through it goes into the jump off. Thomas, an Aircraft 1 from Mexico, progressing forward into that jump off against the clock. Najla's asking if there's any competitors here from Saudi Arabia. There's not in this one, but when we went to Los Angeles for the World Cup qualifier there was one over for that one. So 7 combinations gone so far, 3 clears at the moment. David Gracia de la Garza is next with Anastasia Lucia, 13-year-old mare by Caruso Lucia. Lucia is a stud here in Mexico that's producing some great horses. Hi to Jessica Johnson watching from the UK. I flew out of a few days ago. I was here for the World Cup in Los Angeles last week and then came straight to Mexico. Maybe it's got warm and maybe it stopped raining since I left, Jessica, but I'm guessing probably not. Hi to Heather Piat Fisher as well, watching from Pennsylvania on Facebook Live. If you have just joined us, keep those questions, comments. If you just want to say hello, you can do that on YouTube, on Facebook Live as well. So far, I think our course designer, Marina Azevedo, has done a very nice job, hasn't she? It's just technical enough here. It's also letting these horses get in and get set up for the week. I think what's made it that way is obviously her great design for a start, but also that she's just given them enough time with that time allowed. It's not really challenging them. It's not asking them to push and push all the way around. If they've got room, if they need to take that little extra check or just go a little bit wider somewhere, then she's allowing them to do that. I don't think that'll be the case when it gets to the big one here on Saturday. We'll wait and see. But there's another clear round effort. Gracia de la Garza, Anastasia Lucia heading through to that jump off against the clock. Hi to Sal watching in Brazil. He's watching on Facebook right now. Hi to Sylvie as well. HTV's watching from the UK. Paula from Pennsylvania. Evie the Equestrian Roblox is watching in England. Great to have people from all over the world joining us for some sunshine show jumping here in Mexico, in Puebla. Ana Sofia Lagareta is next. Bonfoy Vant Hof Santa Rosa, the 11-year-old gelding. Hibisca Baloo, got some non-stop breeding in there as well. Andre Hernandez Velasco owns the horse. Ana Sofia, we've seen all over North America. We've seen her jump in Europe as well. Looks like there's a little bit of a check, a bit of a correction down that line. She's giving us a stellar ride today, isn't she? This could be a busy old jump off when we get there. Means it's going to be exciting though. Yeah, super job, 81.02. Congratulations there, Ana Sofia Legarreta heading through for Mexico. Brings us up to 5. 9 gone so far, 5 clears. 29 left to come forward in this first round. You can see how much that means to her. Nice big smile, very relaxed horse as well on the buckle end there. Hi to Portioning, who's just joined us on YouTube Live, watching in Brazil. Call Me Kiki says some of the doubles look really scary, especially the blue one. Good job to everyone that's jumped it. Yeah, I mean, it certainly takes some jumping at this level, but you know, as I was mentioning earlier, all the distances out there are all very even today. This is Nicola Heinross, by the way. He's riding a horse called Cape Town. He represents Denmark. This is a horse that's owned by Patricio Pascal. Pascal family have done a lot for the sport in Mexico. Nicola Heinross has been involved with them for quite some time, bringing the horses along. Just saying to the horse, wait around that corner. Around to this final fence. Oh! What a complete shocker there. That was a real surprise because, you know, you saw just how fluent the horse was over the rest of this course. He was just nice and calm and collected. And Nicola had to make a couple of corrections in places, but very small ones. And came round off that corner. The horse just looked a little bit impressed by the officer. It was a bit of a heartbreak there. But, you know, the horse jumped its heart out till then, so got to reflect on the positives as well, which is very hard to do when you're sitting up there and you're in the ring. But we know that horse can jump, we know it's got all the qualities, so we'll keep an eye as the weekend progresses. Hi to Melody Hill, watching in northern British Columbia in Canada. I bet it's a bit colder there, Melody, than it is here. It's perfect conditions today, about 20 degrees Celsius. Luis Gerardo Castaneda Mercado, next up then. Let's go to Santa Rosa Quality Boy, the 12-year-old gelding. The one for Mexico. These guys, you know, from this point onward will have had an opportunity to come and watch the first couple go. 12-year-old with some good experience. This is another rider. Again, a couple of surprises in here, because this is a pair that were here last week. Jumped some good rounds. It's a nice double clear on the opening day last week. Placed top 10 in another competition. There's everything in there today, quite inviting. This is the first one we're going to see with, apart from the last one, with some time faults. Yeah, finishes with 18 in total, 96, 98, but a bit of a shocker there. Sometimes these things happen and you just got to kind of give them a pat and get organised for the next time that you're in the ring. Ready to see Alejandro Mills comes forward for the home nation here with Bretzel de Morales. 14-year-old this one. Got Diamond de Semi lines in there. Self-run say. Mexico's been working hard to build that level of quality of horse and rider. They've probably got more international competitions now than ever before. And they're really starting to hold their own on the world stage. This is a fabulous venue to come to. It's one I look forward to coming to every year. Years old, this horse, and you can see that experience coming through. Just keep an eye on the time allowed. Just inside there, 82.53. Finished Grand Prix with this horse here last week. Be a contender as the weekend progresses, and believe me, when he gets through to the jump off, he'll be going much faster than that. Of course, there's a little bit of air time that kind of added up to a few extra seconds, so he got a little bit close to the time, but he was on the right side. Of course, in our sport, that's all that matters. 26 left to come here in the first round. This is a horse with Argentinus lines called Chapeau. Tatiana Keysholder-Andrews takes the ride for Mexico. Reminder as well, if you're watching on Facebook Live, don't forget to hit that share button. Let all your friends know that they can enjoy the action here in Mexico. You can share it to any equestrian groups that you're a member of as well. You're going to see a bit of a pattern here, but this is another one that was with us last week here in Puebla. Another one that featured in the Grand Prix. It's a 2-star competition last week. This is a 4-star this week. And for anyone kind of new to the sport, the star rating of international shows really comes down to the prize money involved. So if it's a 5-star, it's got tons more money than a 1 or a 2-star. 4-star, the prize fund is very, very healthy as well. Oh, it's a little bit of a mistake coming through there. Of course, as the prize money goes up, the technicality goes up, the height of the fences go up a little bit as well. If you do have any questions about the sport, or I was going to say anything in general, preferably equestrian related, and you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to stick it in the comments box. It'd be good to hear from you. Yeah, and just a little bit over that time as well, and I think she'll take a lot away from that round. It was a good little fact-finding mission, because there were parts that were really nice. There was just one mistake there. Maybe just a touch wide around a couple of places. There's certainly a lot to be happy about as you come out the ring with that one as well. We're going to stay on the 6 clears at this stage. 6 clears at the moment. Alright, let's take a look at this pair. Jose Antonio Chedraui and Concours. This is by Star Power out of a Pedina mare. It's a 12-year-old gelding. A couple of people have mentioned that there's a little bit of an audio issue or something online, but hopefully it's just the internet, and hopefully that resolves itself fairly soon. It's great to have you watching wherever you are watching today. Great to have your company as always. This was an early rail there for Antonio. But you know, 4 faults could still get you some prize money at this stage. I think we might end up with 12 clears. And don't forget, you know, in any FEI competition, unless there's hundreds of entries, it does tend to be 12. It's a minimum of 12 awards to be handed out. Due to the number of starters in this one, they will all qualify for the World Cup. Qualifier not necessary. And I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the FEI schedule, but in terms of the drawn order for the World Cup here on Saturday, they can use this competition to decide the starting order. So it would be, you know, the bestest would go lastest, if that's proper English. It's probably not. That was a shame there for Jose Antonio Chedraui. Just an early rail, and then answers all the technical questions out there with ease. He was 9th in the Grand Prix with this horse just last week. Today finishes just on the 4. Claudette Villacampos. Next up, 17-year-old mare, this one, by Sister of Van Pamel, a Piccini mare. This is one that she owns and rides. Imka van Keiselhoff. Pair riding under the flag of Mexico here. Hi to Maria's watching on Facebook Live in Poland. Jose Perez is in Puebla, I think. Enjoying the coverage, and it's great to have you with us, Jose. Hopefully you'll be joining us over the weekend if you are local. Through there, wasn't it? Claudette had a very good season with this horse last year, mainly kind of at the 2-star level. But this is a horse she knows well. She's been jumping this horse for many years. They're old friends, really. Oh, what a shame. It's hard to believe this mare is 17 years of age. You can see she's got plenty in the tank. Yeah, 81.15. Rail comes down towards the end. Nice pat on the way out as well. These pair have had a lot of fun together over the years. Just that one rail in there today. Yeah, it was a shame. Is next, Candado PS. Year-old stallion by Glocks London. It's got Sandra Boy in there as well. This is an Oldenburg. See, Mexico's well represented. Plenty of athletes riding under their flag today. But you know, it's interesting. It doesn't matter what nationality you are, if you come here to ride, everybody is so friendly. Oh, that's come down. So friendly, so supportive, and pretty much cheer for every single rider. Settle down into a bit more of a rhythm now. Nice way to retire. Oh no, maybe not. This won't be the round she was hoping for. I'm sure there'll be plenty of discussion when she heads out today and be making a plan. Obviously that time allows come into play as well, so I wouldn't say the score is really indicative of that partnership. She's having a bit of a bad day at the office today. We've got some good clears at the moment, all heading through into that jump off against the clock. Hi to Karen, who's watching in Quebec in Canada. Heather says she wishes she was in Mexico rather than where she is with the snow and ice. Yeah, the weather here is pretty perfect, to be honest. And I get a bit of a day off tomorrow, so I'm going to be enjoying that sunshine by the pool for sure. Those speedos will be coming out. Let's move away from that terrible picture though, and back to this great picture. Luciano Roberto Gonzalez Guerra, the 16-year-old gelding by Cardento. Concord lines as well in this one. This is Errands. There's always quite a nice atmosphere here, you know, even from 8:30 in the morning. There's people around. The hospitality's up and running. There's 2 rings at this event as well, so it's not just the ring that we can see here that we focus on this week. There's also a ring just behind as well, and it's great because some of these athletes will have people that they coach with them, so they can be competing in the other ring as well, or if they've got young horses that they want to start out. And there's a real championship feel in both rings. And to jump around a track like this and finish with just 4 or 8 faults is still a good achievement. And we've got to remember every single one of these partnerships, all at a different stage in their career, in their training, in their calendar, and their program for this year. nice to see so many veteran horses here. You know, this is another one who's 16. It's a testament to, I think, how important the care and the welfare is in our sport. Horses have that longevity. In the end, for jumping, two-time full star, finishes on 6 votes, 16. We've seen her in Summer Capistrano, the Nations Cup event a couple of years ago with Lennon, Los Angeles. We've seen her at Thunderbird as a pick up in travel. It's a shame there to finish on that 6-4 result. Santa Rosa Wellington boy, 15-year-old stallion. Andrea Hernandez owns, and Carlos Rodolfo Molina is on board. Experienced rider, he's got some nice horses at the moment. Just has to get his leg on the last minute there. And we'll use this corner to balance, to get organised again. Been a couple today with real unlucky rails, and sometimes it is just a bit of bad luck. That was a shame. Finishes up on 4. A lot to like in that round. But 4 faults in 80.76. That is the total. Miguel Maron. Next up, 13-year-old gelding, horse owned by Alberto Sanchez Cazar, Cayenne de Bosquillon. Miguel riding from Mexico. A little bit sticky off the ground there. Just came down a touch close. Just about the halfway stage here. Seen some great sport already. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you can share with anyone, feel free to let them know they can enjoy this sport. If you remember any equestrian groups on Facebook, you can share it there as well. It's going to be an exciting jump off when we get there. You guys are going to stay with us. Yeah, just the 4 today, 79.15. It's got a little bit sticky at times, but Miguel did enough just to keep that leg on, keep the horse thinking forward. Let's go to John Perez. John's another of the athletes we see on the the world stage. He's had a number of good horses over the years. Rides for Colombia. I don't want to jinx him, but this would be one of the favourites to jump clear today, I would think. Remember, if you are watching on YouTube, I think now you have to subscribe to the FEI channel to be able to comment and to get involved with the conversation. And you have to have subscribed for at least 5 minutes or longer. So if you haven't yet hit that little bell, if you haven't yet subscribed to the FEI channel, it's worth doing, because there's competition to watch live and free pretty much every single week. Maybe every single day, who knows. But yeah, definitely hit that subscribe button. And then if you wait a few minutes, you'll be able to get involved with the conversation as well. I didn't jinx John by saying this would be one of the favourites to jump a clear today, but you know, watching this horse and how he's been jumping, I really did think this would be one to look out for today. He's keeping the horse thinking forward. Our fastest for Falter is 75.18, so he's not going to be there, but let's find out where he goes for now. 79.45. He's going to head 10th at the moment. So I don't think he'll pick up any prize money with that round today. We are going to be looking for the top 12. 18 left in the wings, waiting to come forward. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Always good to see John and good to see him with different horses. Pam's watching on Facebook Live, saying my absolute favourite sport to watch. She's watching in Mississippi in the USA. Good to have you watching on Facebook Live, Pam. BP First Editions on track now. Sophia Michael of Mexico rides this one. 13-year-old mare by Verdi. Watton's Flight on the dam side. This is registered as an Irish sports horse, this one. I know we've got some people watching from Ireland. And Ireland's a great place to find a horse. I know in North America everyone goes over to Europe, but you know, since time began, you can't go too far wrong heading to Mexico, heading to Ireland and Mexico now. Actually, we've got a couple of good options here. But yeah, Ireland's a great place to find horses. I've been to the auction at Cavan many times. Second part of that double on those yellow shallow cups comes down. If you weren't with us earlier, I was mentioning that the yellow cups are about 3mm shallower than the white ones. But yeah, if you're looking for a horse, those auctions at Cavan are a real great time. Not only do you get normally quite a good deal, but the social side of it, let's say, is also very good. Just the 8 faults today. 77.81 there for Sophia and BP First Editions. She's on the 8 here in round 1. Let's move on next to Seringat. Tricio Pascal rides this one. His dad, of course, also involved in the competition. We saw him ride a bit earlier. But this is a horse that Patricio has ridden at Spruce Meadows. He's a great young talent, this guy. Serengats, 19 years of age. He's had a lot of success on the world stage, and it's a horse that Patricio gets on very well with. Joe Brown is watching on YouTube saying, where is this? It's in a place called Puebla in Mexico. It's about 2 hours outside of Mexico City. I flew into Mexico City yesterday and the drive up was about 2 hours, and it's a real nice drive kind of through the mountains. It was great fun watching this pair at Spruce Meadows over last summer. Oh, let's come down first by that double. You can see him just having a bit of a conversation with the horse coming past the in-gate there. That's a shame because we saw them in a couple of speed competitions last year, and boy, they really went for it. I think he'd have been exciting to watch in the jump off, so it's a shame he's not going to quite make it through. But Patricio's dad has got on really well with this horse as well, and I'm sure it gives him a, you can see him actually just down at the back of the frame there, I think. Yeah, I'm sure he's given him some great advice with this one. 79.12, just that single rail coming down today, and finishes up on the 4 faults. Hi to Jennifer Keys, Villarose. Hope I pronounced that right. I did the French accent and everything. Anyway, she's watching from France. Good to have you with us, Jennifer. Mademoiselle Lazardo coming forward next. Gizmo Taru. 9-year-old stallion. It's by Up to You. This is one that Juan Manuel owns and rides. I was chatting to him earlier, and I know he's not planning on taking this one to the World Cup, I don't think, on Saturday. We're riding it today, and then in the meter 50 on Sunday. It's a younger horse that he's really bringing up through the grades, and as you'd expect from Juan Manuel, he does a real nice job. See, she's been working on that adjustability, on that rideability. And everything's starting to come together. They're just building with that consistency. Manuel gives this horse a lot of confidence in the ring. Just gathers things back up. You can see him really using these corners to rebalance and to get organised. It really is all about the canter. You can see him setting up that canter at every opportunity. You answer the question, you use that room, you get organised, and you get ready for the next question. And we saw him executing that perfectly in there. Yeah, he'll be very happy with that. 77.66. Juan Manuel Lazardo jumps clear, earns a place in that jump off today. Ainsley's on YouTube and says, why would they make some cups shallower? Yeah, I mean, our cups used to be really deep, and the poles used to be really, really heavy. And then when we brought in the safety cup system, all the jump standards, the jump wings got replaced with that track that you see that the cups now sit in. And when that happened, we turned obviously to the plastic cups, and they were all white in colour. And then a few years ago, they were starting to bring out different cups because it really just makes it more difficult. I think that's the answer, because you know the cups that we had, any rider will tell you, the rail still fell out of them very easily, sometimes too easily. But yeah, these yellow ones, it's to save the courses out of having to shave cups if they want to make it a little bit more difficult. So we've now got those yellow cups, and it's the only way the sport can go is, you know, to make things more delicate. We can't go up any higher, we can't make the horses go any faster. So we have to ask them to respect the fences that little bit more. So in the old days where you could give a jump a good knock and it stays up, that's less and less likely now. So it's also a bit of a safety thing, but you know, these cups and these rails have always been designed for safety since modern sport was around, really. You'll also see red cups as well out there, and those red cups are used on the back rails when we are using the safety cup system, because any oxers out there are designed, if the horse comes down on a back bar, that those cups will collapse, they'll give way. And again, that's just one of the many welfare things that are built into our sport. Anyway, enough of talking about cups, because Federico Fernandez is on track with Davidoff. He's just had a rail, another one just goes a little bit flat off that corner there. Boy, this man has been everywhere, at the very top of the sport for so long. He's a proper horseman, this guy, he really is. Well, 8 faults in the end, 80.74 there. Joe Brown says, I love a sunny show. Oh, you should come to this one, because every time I've been here it's been sunny. Call Me Kiki says it's 8 PM where she is, so it's dark there. And Royal Rose says noon there, but big snowstorm that's been pounding them for the last few days. Hope the snow clears up. I'll maybe stop mentioning how warm and sunny and lovely it is here. We're heading on next to Maria Gabriel Brigogasso from the Dominican Republic with Jador Flamenco. So again, this is a rider we've seen travel quite a lot. She's a good talent. She gets on with this horse very nicely indeed. Oh, little tap there. For those with very good eyesight, you might be able to see this horse is wearing blinkers. And in the old days, they were big pieces of sheepskin that you put on the cheek pieces of the bridle. Oh, a little stumble through there. I thought she was going to recover out of that. Yeah, I was just saying, in the old days, those blinkers are big pieces of sheepskin, and you used to try and tape them round so they didn't stick out too far. Then the FEI brought out a rule that they were only allowed to be 3 centimetres in diameter away from the projecting cheekbone, or away from the side of the horse's face. So bridal companies started to make these leather ones that you can barely see, but they're actually such a great tool. And if you've got a horse that tends to maybe try and glance behind, or just a little bit spooky in the red, but they do a great job. 79.50, and almost recovered through that distance, didn't she? But she's going to finish up on 4 today, and just outside our top 12. Rodrigo Lambre, another big name in the sport, another man that we see travel all over the place. North America over to Europe. He's produced some great horses over the years as well. It's a 10-year-old mare by Talabou Zed, a Diarado mare. Still on those 7 clears, about 13 left to come here in the first round. And we'll be off to the races with that jump off against the clock to follow, and let's hope we can get Brazil's Rodrigo Lambre there as well. Again, you can see him really using these corners to balance that canter. Rodrigo's had the ride in this horse since last summer. He's jumped it here in the past. Takes that rail. Had some good wins with this as well towards the end of last year, and just had a couple of rails in the Grand Prix last week with the horse here at this venue on this stage. Well, in the end, it's going to be a total of 12. But Rodrigo has put doing a lot of work with this horse, and I think they're going to be building up the consistency at this level. Again, he's only had the horse since last summer, and he's kind of taking his time and doing the work. Hi to the old grey mare, just joined us watching on YouTube. Good to have you with us. Emily says we got ice in Detroit last night. Not looking forward to navigating, fetching her lesson horse tomorrow. Well, do stay safe there. We'll be in the sunshine here, Emily, but we won't mention that. Maria Michael next up. Captain Rimmel for Mexico. 13-year-old stallion by Vagabond de la Pomme. Bred in France, this horse. Oh, just had to really check around that corner to get that canter balanced. And you could see her all the way down that line there. She was checking and checking and trying to get the horse to come back to her, but this horse is just pulling her past those distances a little bit today. She's really having to just work and use that upper body. You can see her sitting back, trying to take a check and saying wait. And that last one comes down as well. So 12 in total, 76-22. And a total of 12. What have we got left? About 10 or 11 left here in this first round. And it looks like Alberto Sanchez is next to go. Equinox de la Pomme. 11-year-old stallion, this one. It's got Ingmar lines. It's a self-run say. Some good top 10 finishes here in Mexico with the horse last year. Claudia Michael had ridden this horse for a long time. In fact, Claudia jumped this horse in the World Cup here last year. So it's a horse with some good experience. Alberto took over the ride towards the end of the summer last year, getting into the fall. Experienced horse. A couple of really had to work hard coming round past that in gate. Good correction and approach to the double there. Moves up, probably thinking about the time allowed, but he's going to be absolutely fine. Jumps that final fence, he will be happy with that. 80.08. Nice clear there for Alberto Sanchez. Cozar, Equinox de la Pomme. Through to the jump off they go. Brings us up to 8 clears. 8 clears, 10 left to come. Quick reminder as well, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, if you want to get involved with the conversation, let me know where you're watching. If you've got any questions, it'd be great to hear from you. do get involved, and while you do that, we're going to get Francisco Lomelin underway. Once again, Francisco went clear earlier, actually got us underway. Jumped a nice round, ended up placing the jump off with the first ride. This time he rides this one. 12-year-old gelding, another self-ran one that Francisco owns and rides. Demosthenes. So he's already had a chance to look round and certainly make things a little bit easier. Quite clever and quick with his feet. Francisco's been bringing this horse along since the very beginning. Brought him out first of all as a 6-year-old in the metre 20, metre 25 competitions. I thought he was going to get away with that. Not to go back to our cup conversation, but if that was on the White Cups, I reckon he might have got away with that. He's still got a horse in the jump off, and this horse will have taken a lot away from this round today. It's just getting a little bit forward, just running through the hand slightly. But Francisco's certainly got that experience just to keep everything nice and contained. And finishes up on the 8 today. 78.14, 2 down, 8 faults there for Francisco. And his second ride here for us in this 1.50 m competition. Well, Rose is watching in Montana. Joe's asking who is the course builder. It's Marina Azevedo, the only female Olympic level designer in the world. And she's built here the last couple of years. She was down in Ocala at the World Equestrian Centre last weekend, or the weekend before last. Nicholas Pizarro on course with us. Mamacita. This is a nice horse, this one. I've seen this jump quite a few times. It's an 11-year-old Oldenburg. And Nico gets on with the horse very, very well. But he's a top rider, Nico. As I mentioned earlier, one of the busiest men at the horse show as well. He's making some cracking corrections there. You can see him just taking a little feel down the rein, and the horse responds well. He's just having to contain that energy, contain that blood. Just a miscommunication down there. That's a shame, because Nico had been supporting this horse all the way around there today, riding every single stride, and then just a little miscommunication. But you can see what a great horseman he is there as well. He's not getting upset with the horse, he's not chasing the horse. He just gave the horse a nice little pat and said, you know, these little mistakes happen. It's okay. We're just going to pick up our rhythm again, and then we're going to get finished. And that's a testament to him being a good horseman as well as a good rider. There's no point in getting stressed with him. Yeah, and I think the horse was a little bit funny after that last time, so Nico will work now just to settle that rhythm down to this final fence and then start to think about the next time he'll have that one in the ring. obviously had a bit of a rebuild, so 6 seconds built in, and there was some time faults and stuff in there as well. But it's all going to add up to 14 there for Nico. He'd definitely be a name to watch in the World Cup here on Saturday. I can guarantee he'll have a horse in it. He just had an unlucky rail with the first ride today. Carlos Smith Fowler comes back with a second ride, rides for Chile. 13-year-old mare by Caruso Lucia. Horse owned by Alfonso Romagarza. Someone on YouTube asking how much the prize money is in this competition. In US dollars, it's $62,560, so about $62,500. In pesos, in local currency, it's 1,270,000, which sounds very expensive. This is a nice grey. Looks like it's quite a nice kind face, this horse. It's a 13-year-old mare, this one. Some nice colour in. Carlos has been riding this horse for about a year and a half. I first saw him ride the horse at Guadalajara in the autumn of 2023. It's a nice flea-bitten grey. You can see those kind of grey dots on the horse's hindquarters. But he's given us a good ride, hasn't he? All the way. Oh, little tap at the last, gets away with that. 76.49 and jumps clear there. So we'll see Carlos back in the jump off with that one. He was a little bit lucky at the last. I don't think he hit it that hard, but just as a fun fact, that the rest of the fences are faultable till you cross the finish. So if you were to knock an earlier fence and it was sitting on the edge of the cups and then it fell after you jumped the next couple of jumps, that's still faultable. The last fence is actually faultable until you leave the ring or until the ground jury ring the bell for the next horse to start. So if you've given the last fence a bit of a heavy rub, you want to get out the ring pretty sharpish. And actually there I'll just be asking the ring crew to get a fence checked. Obviously he felt that fence was either tapped and was sitting on the edge of the cup or just isn't quite right. Sometimes as well these rails, obviously they're made of wood and you want your rails to be nice and straight. Sometimes you can have what we call a bow in them. So it means they've got a bit of a curve almost through the middle of it, and if it's sitting one way in the pole, it's a few centimetres bigger than if it's the other way. So that's the other reason that you can sometimes see a rider just asking for a rail to be rolled. This is Cortez coming forward next. Inacio Marin taking the ride. By Chaco Blue. It's a 12-year-old. It's owned by Mario Ognati. He had a good season with this horse last year, placing in San Miguel. And it's a horse that he found over in Europe. Classic of Germany used to have this horse, and Laura went to Chantilly where Inacio saw the horse, and then he was riding it a few weeks later at another show in France, and he had a win early on in their partnership. Second class out, they were winning together. Hello to Paulo, who's watching in Brazil, watching on Facebook Live. Good to have you with us. It's quite a quick little horse, this. You can see it's got a fast brain. It likes to think forward. It's a great partner in the ring. And finishes up clear, 80.25, through to the jump off there. Nacho Marin and Cortez go through. So that brings us up to a nice round. 10 clears, 6 left to come in this first round. 10 clear, progressing back. Breebs has just joined us, watching from Canada. Where in Canada are you, Breebs? Good to have you with us, though, watching on YouTube Live, getting involved with the conversation. Geronimo Jimenez Herrera next for Argentina. Conte Boy, 10-year-old gelding, this one by Confidence. It's got Tinker's Boy in there as well. You know, well, since I've seen a Tinker's Boy horse. They normally have some great quality. Nacho Marin, who we just saw ride, he was our previous competitor, has ridden this horse just before it went to Geronimo, actually. And Geronimo's first show out with this horse was this event last year. So we're getting to see them a year on, and after a busy season, actually. Placed well at Lerma. Jumped a double clear in a similar competition last week here in the opening week of sport in Puebla. Just catches that. You see that look of frustration as soon as he landed, he knew. So 4 faults so close to the end as well, 74.65 and just the 4. Well, if you have just joined us, don't worry, you're not too late, because we've still got a handful left here in the first round. We've got an exciting jump off to come. I'm Adam Cromarty. It's great to have your company, and you can get involved with the conversation if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook Live. You can stick any comments in the comments box. It's a good place to put them. If you've got any questions, if you just want to say hello, if there's a rider that you're looking out for, it'd be great to hear from you. Right, let's get the first of our final 5 underway. On Pablo Jimenez Torres and the 11-year-old stallion by Canthargos out of a Balabu Duroe mare, Con Lugano PS for Mexico. I think our course designer Marina Azevedo will be very happy with the result that she's had from this competition today. Just tough enough, just technical enough, and I think the time alloved's been perfect. You know, you can't go too wide or too slow, but she's certainly given them enough time to answer the questions out there. First part of the double coming down. This is a new ride in international sport. It's about their 5th competition together as a pair. Been together since the end of last year. Finished 10th in the Grand Prix here last week, but I think you can just see that you know, those conversations that the horse and rider are having together, and as that relationship develops, I think that rideability will, that connection will just come together. And as soon as that clicks, this is going to be a great pair. You know, thinking back to that Grand Prix last week, and there were nice parts in there today, but the end and score is 17-83-34. Emily Thompson says, super important question, Adam. Who is your SPFL team? If you're talking about Scottish football, and I hope you are, I'm not missing it, and it's now a new equestrian big competition that I've completely missed. Then I'd have to go with Hearts, only because I'm from Edinburgh. It's either Hearts or Hibs, and I think Hearts is probably a better team. Hopefully that's what you're asking about. If it was something equestrian, I've completely missed the boat, feel free to let me know. Not too many left to come though. Can't wait for this jump off, it's going to be very exciting. This is David Garcia de la Garza, horse he owns and rides, 13-year-old gelding called Tintoretto Lucia, another Mexican bred horse. And it's great to see, you know, Mexico breeding so many horses that are making it to the top, and the Lucia stud doing a great job. He was second in a similar competition here last week. This is a horse that he knows very well indeed. He really has produced this horse all the way up through the grades. Charlotte Van Bremen had the ride way back when in 2017 for about 3 competitions or something, then David took over the reins and really has made this horse what it is today. At 80.57, it is clear. David Garcia de la Garza goes through. Tintoretto Lucia, nicely done, and through to that jump off. Valentino is asking, will there be a live for Saint-Tropez next week? I don't know. I don't know is the answer. However, I can tell you there will be a live for the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Ocala event that's happening at the World Equestrian Centre next week. So there's going to be a YouTube, Facebook class going out on Thursday, one on Friday, and then the World Cup there taking place on Saturday, which is only available on Clip My Horse. So yeah, you can definitely tune in. I will be with you there on Thursday, but not Friday. So that's at the World Equestrian Centre in Ocala. If you can join me for that one, that would be great. Let's get this one underway, shall we? Ana Sofia Legarreta, 11-year-old gelding by Cannon, Kansas Santa Rosa for Mexico. First of our final 3, just 3 left to come, including this one. Then it's jump off time. We've got some fast ones going through that are going to be very competitive. I think the lead's going to change quite a few times in that jump off. That is my premonition. That's what the crystal ball's saying. Oh, and she took quite a correction off that corner there. Tried to sort it out and find that distance. Oh, I think maybe just takes one too many checks down that line, and the horse has to make quite a big effort to get up in the air. This is a horse that Antonio Maurer had, along with Luis Alejandro Plasencia, over the last couple of years. Still quite a new one for Anna. She brought the horse last week and did a very nice job. You know, her first time out with the horse just ended up with a couple of time faults. Obviously 2-star competition last week. We're stepping up to 4-star competition this week. That is a brand new pairing that are still getting to know each other. I think she should be happy with that. A couple of rails, a couple of time faults. A little bit of frustration here and there, but you know, she's been around the sport so long now, she knows exactly what to do differently next time or what to work on, how to improve that connection. So I think she'll have taken a lot away from that. Someone asking how many are going through to the jump off. At the moment we've got 11. 11 going to that jump off against the clock. Nicola Heinras Naranjo coming forward next. It's an experienced horse for sure. 18 years old, this horse. This is one that Francisco Pascal had a lot of fun with. Oh, it just takes a rail. Always liked this horse, and if he'd got into the jump off, I haven't seen the horse go for a while, but if he'd got into the jump off, I think he'd have been one of my favourites. Francisco Pascal had so much fun with this horse over the years, so much success. I think this is the competition that's had the most veteran horses in for a long time. We've seen so many, 15, 16, 17, 18 years of age, one that was even 19 years of age, but there's been lots of them in this competition. And they all look so well, so happy. And it's great to see that longevity coming through. But Nicola has had the ride of this since last springtime. He jumped the horse at Spruce Meadows last summer. Some good finishes there, a couple of top 10 finishes at Spruce Meadows. Today just 2 rails and 76.02, so 8 faults there. Nicola Heinras and Naranjo finishes on the 8. A nice horse, that one, and always nice to see him out. One left to come then. Valentina asks, do I know when all the dates for 2025 come out? They are out right now, Valentina. I know some show sites might not have updated their calendars or whatever, but in terms of the FEI calendar, all the dates are out. And if you just Google FEI calendar, it's a website that looks a little bit like a database, but you can put in, if you just want to search jump-in shows, or if you only want to search one part of the world, or you know the show name you're searching for, you can pop that in and it'll give you the dates. And when you get a little bit closer to the show, you can also view the FEI schedule and see what competitions and stuff are going to be there. And so just FEI calendar, that's all you have to search for, you'll be able to find it. So here's our last one on track. Luis Herrero Casanida, the Santa Rosa Bali, 10-year-old mare. We've got 11 clears at the moment. And it's going to be 11 that head through to that jump off. Just catches the vertical with that Liverpool water tray underneath. And for anyone interested, you can head along to longinetiming.com. That's Longines with the S on the end. longinetiming.com. And then obviously select this event, and you'll be able to see the start lists, the live results, the course plans. There's lots of fun stuff on there. So longinetiming.com. All that good stuff available on there, especially when you get to the jump off. If you want to keep an eye on the leaderboard, and you can actually see a live clock if you watch the live scoring. So that is worth a look. Well, not quite the day they were hoping for. Total of 12 there, 80.06 and 12 in total. Just try to keep things together. You could see Marina Azevedo, our course designer, in the pink shirt, just wandering across there, getting ready to change the course, because that is the end of the first round. We're getting set for that jump off against the clock. See some great names there heading through. Juan Pablo Jimenez, Ignacio Marin, with two actually. David Gracia de la Garza going through. Juan Manuel Lizardo, who's actually a very good magician. Fun fact, he is also heading through. And then those lower placings, again down to 12 for prize money today. But it's a good jump off course as well. There's a couple of turns, there's a bit of a twisty area, there's a bit where you can really get your leg on and move up. But interesting first round, perfect course I thought. Don't know what you guys thought. Time allowed to stop. I think we've got a great result with 11 heading through. A couple of minutes now. It's a perfect opportunity as well. It'd be great to hear from you. It's always good to have your company and know that you're there. Because otherwise I'd just be here talking to myself. So it's great to know that you're there. You can see the ring crew jumping into action, getting us ready, and it's quite a spectacular venue. You know, the backdrop looks down over Puebla. And we're quite high up where this venue is. Let's see if we're going up in the mountains there. You can see the Longines branding team. It's a bit of an inside scoop. They've actually got two Longines branding teams that come to every single day. The job is really to look after the clocks that you see in the arena, these start boards, and ensure Longines is well represented here, because they are such a fantastic supporter of show jumping, of equestrian sports, and it is great to have Longines on board for the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup series. The tractors coming in, getting us set. Marin, probably, and maybe with the second horse. The first one's very good as well. Manuel Lizardo is good, but he's got a young horse in this one. I don't think he's going to be pushing it too much. It's going to be a tough one to call, actually. With 11 going in, I think the starting position that you have for the jump off is going to be very important. You know, they come back in the same order as they jump clear in the first round, and those coming towards the end will know exactly what needs to be done. So I think that's going to play into a big part of it, actually. The horses jump really well off the surface, and the team here do a good job of keeping it watered, keeping it looked after. Valentina says, how long until the jump off? Just minutes, Valentina. Can you contain the excitement? It's going to be a good one. But yeah, just a couple of minutes away now from seeing that jump off here in this 4-star meter 50 jump off competition. And this is a venue that we're very used to coming to now. Prior to this, the venue was at Lyon and then Guadalajara before that. Royal Rose says it takes a while to set up, but soon. It does take a little bit of a while. They want to make sure everything is perfect. They remove quite a bit of material, and that's good because it really opens things up. It allows you to make those little sneaky turns that would sometimes be blocked by another fence. So that's why they're just taking their time. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a good surface and the horses are really pinging off it very, very well. But when you've just jumped, you know, about 40 horses in the first round and we're about to be turning on this surface quite tight and quite fast, you just want to make sure that the conditions underfoot are perfect. And that's why you see them coming in with the water and the tractors. But they've got a good team here. A quick reminder as well, we'll be back live with you, and I think 1 PM local time on Sunday for another YouTube, Facebook class. So it'd be fabulous to have your company then as well if you can join us. Get it in your diary, set yourself a reminder. But again, if you want to keep up to date with the timings of the competitions, longinetiming.com. And I think that website actually adjusts to the time zone that you're in. Very clever indeed. So yeah, if you have a look on there, and again, don't forget you can see the live scoring, the results and stuff. And it looks like they may have a hard start time set for the jump off. We've got a countdown on screen of 8 minutes. I think they might come in a bit sooner than that. We'll wait and see. Laura Rose says, yeah, got to be good ground for turns and big jumps. Absolutely, the footing's so important. And this, like all the venues you see that host sport at this level, I think that is their number one concern. You've got to have good footing. That's the key ingredient if you want riders to come. And you know, the show have obviously recognised this because this surface is one the horses go really well on. Yeah, we're just waiting for those final alterations to be made. Beth says, is there any way to see the list of who's competing at the World Cup in Ocala? There's not yet, Beth. I think the earliest you're probably going to be able to see that online, I would think, will probably be Tuesday if they publish a list for the horse inspection, or Wednesday when you see the first the competitions in Ocala next week. But I think that one is going to be full up. I think we're going to see the full 40 in the World Cup, I would imagine, because so many riders are now basing themselves out of Ocala in Florida. The World Equestrian Centre is having more FEI competition than ever before this year. And even for those that aren't choosing Ocala as their winter base and are down in Wellington, you know, what is it, about 3.5 hours down the road? So I think with it being a 5-star, with it being a World Cup, I think it's going to be busy. And if you think of a name in, look at that incredible view, if you think of a name in North American show jumping, I think McLean's going to be there. I think Kent Farrington's going to be there. I think all the big guns. Laura Kraut was there jumping their 4-star last week. And that is our final leg on the North American League for this season. It's really flown by this year. And we've seen 3 back-to-back at the end. We were in Thermal, California last week, obviously here in Puebla, Mexico this week, and then next weekend Ocala in Florida to finish. We will just take a very short pause in the action just for a minute or two, and then I'll come back and join you again. But final reminder before we get to that jump off, if there's anyone that you're cheering for, any questions, any comments, or if you just want to say hello, then you can pop those in the comments box either on Facebook Live or on YouTube. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can send questions on there as well. You can just search for Adam Cromarty, but it's always great to hear from you. And we will be back with that jump off, and I can tell you it is going to be very, very exciting. So stay with us. I'll take a short pause and we'll be right back to get set up for that jump off in just a moment. Well, we are getting set and we are getting ready to see that jump off against the clock that will decide our winner here. And you can see your runners and riders on screen right now. This is who's going to be coming back. Total of 11 waiting in the wings to come forwards. As I mentioned earlier, we've got a few twists and turns on this jump off track. We've got some areas where they can really move on and try and make up some time as well. So I do think it's going to be an interesting one for sure. That first horse and rider partnership will be coming forward to join us in just a second. Marina Azevedo, our course designer, 8 obstacles, 9 jumping efforts is what she has put into this, with a time allowed of 59 seconds. But I get that feeling that they're going to be travelling a lot faster than 59 seconds. This is going to be exciting for sure. Valentina's on YouTube Live and says, do you do a lot of experience to do lives and commentary for the FEI? I would think yes. I think yes would be the answer, Valentina. I used to ride. I don't really ride that much now because I travel so much. But I'm a qualified coach. I'm an FEI judge, and completely aside from horses, I had a background in broadcast as well. So I've kind of added all the bits together. But yeah, thank you for your question. Right, will we see an exciting jump off? I think the answer is you bet we will. This should be very, very good. And I think right from the start, they're going to really be trying to add that pressure on as much as they can. We're just waiting for that first bell, and then we will be underway here. Francisco Lomelin to get us underway. Karina La Agua is our first to go. We'll take a look at that jump off course as we get this first one on track. We're starting over at fence number 14 this time, which is fence 5. But it's changed a little bit. We're jumping it that way. There's no water tray, and that is now 14. From here, it's round to 10 and 11B. So it's the Oxer. 11A has been removed. It's a bit of a longer gallop down there to 11B. Then it's round towards fence number 12. That's the final fence from the first round. It's a little bit close there. Then we're round to 4A. First part of that double on the long side. Landing through 4A, 4B, it's round to fence number 15. That's fence 6, but now as a vertical, not an Oxer, so it has been renumbered. And then we are going to be finishing down through over 7A. This is our final fence in the jump off. So a couple of rails down today, 49.54 and 8 in total. That was our first to go there in the jump off. So yeah, I think there's lots of different questions in that jump off. It's not a big long gallop, which is great. I always prefer it when we see these jump offs that have still got, questions out there. But there we go, our score from the first one, 8 faults and 49.54. Plenty of talent still in the wings, some really quick ones left to come forward. Ignacio Marin is next. Ignacio's got 2 horses coming through. This is Conchado, first of his 2 rides in this jump off. Let's see what he's going to decide to do with this one. We've got to remember that all these horses at different stages in their careers, different stages in their schedule for the year. So every rider will have a different plan based on the horse that they're sitting on. And he's given this a forward ride, but he's just keeping the energy nice and contained. It was a good recovery. And you can see him just saying wait. Keeping that straightness through there. See, in our split time he's a touch steadier, but he's also clear. Pushes down through here, and there we go, our first double clear, 45.91. He gives us that first double clear today, and Ignacio Marin sets the standard, gives the rest something to chase. Don't know if he thinks his horse may have lost a shoe or a boot or something on the way round. He's going to be a busy boy in this jump off, so he's going to be away to get that next horse ready. And we'll see Juan Pablo Jimenez Torres, an Aircraft 1. And I think we're going to see some horses come faster than the 45 mark. But it's a very good bit of pressure that's been added on. He's certainly added a challenge for the rest now. They know they have to be clear. Oh, they know they have to be fast. Just really containing that down there. Oh, I think that first part's come down. He was at the split time that we were taking there. He was just a touch steadier than our leader. You can see he just has to give this horse a little bit of support on some of the approaches. The horse wants to run forward and he has to keep the horse balanced. And that's why he was slightly steadier in there today, but finishes up on 4, taking that single rail on Pablo Jimenez Torres, an aircraft 1.4 in 50.02. Porsching says, how do the FEI find course designers? Do they have to pass a specific test? They absolutely do. So all the course designers you see building an FEI sport have to first of all be a national course designer. So every country will have their own pathway and their own set of exams, but most of them would have 3 or 4 different levels that you're examined at to be able to become a national course designer. Then you have to become an FEI course designer, and yeah, there's a lot of exams to do, a lot of training. You have to travel, you have to work with other course designers. This is Ana Sofia Legarreta, by the way, Van Favant of Santa Rosa. And the course designer we have here, as I mentioned earlier, is a level 4 course designer. They are the top, they are the elite. She's the only female level 4 course designer in the world, so it's great to have her here with us. Anyway, back to this jump off. And we know at the top of the leaderboard is 45.91. So that's added enough pressure on. They know they have to keep moving forward. And as a rider, you have to make that decision. Do you want to try and chase that, or are you going to stick to your original plan? It's a shame taking the first part down there, and you can see Sophia sticking to that original plan. She's slightly steadier. Yeah, just finishes up on the 4 today. 51.82 and 4 there for Ana Sofia Legarreta. Heads into 3rd place at the moment. We have had a couple deciding to withdraw from this jump off. So that leaves us with, what, we got 5 left to come, if my maths is right. 5 or 6. Need to find an abacus. But David Gracia de la Garza has withdrawn from the jump off, and Alejandro Mills also withdrawn from the jump off. With there being 11 in it, and they knew it was going to have to be a little bit of a fast one, they might be deciding to keep those horses for later in the weekend and probably the World Cup. They know they're going to get some prize money anyway, no matter what, because they've qualified for the jump off. There's someone who hasn't withdrawn and is most definitely here. It's one Manuel Lazardo. Gizmo Daru says right. Again, this is just a younger horse that Juan Manuel is bringing through, but Juan Manuel, very competitive, very talented rider, and just a little bit of a mishap there. And I just seeing weight as he comes down. And he's faster, but obviously on those 4 faults, the fastest 4-fault round we've seen is 50.02, and that's good enough for 2nd at the minute, if he can do the same or better. Great time, 44.92. He was 2nd faster than our current leader. So if he left that rail up, we would have seen the lead change, but the rail came down and he's going to head into 2nd place, into 2nd for now. And that was just a tiny little mishap. But remember, this is a 9-year-old, the horse still being educated, but getting some great education from Juan Manuel. So Nashia Marin still leads, our only double clear, 45.91. Amama Lizardo slipping into second. And Alberto Sanchez next with Equinox de la Pomme. 45.91 time to beat. Quick hello to Yogi Fell, just checking in late on Facebook Live. Got in time for the jump off though, but watching in Prince Edward Island in Canada from Handibar Hills Horse Sanctuary. Good to have you with us, and you came at a good time because this jump off will be exciting. We've only got 4 left to come after this. 45.91. I thought he'd left a little door open and we saw Juan Manuel Lizardo go faster, but have a rail. This could go right to the wire here today. He's really just making this horse wait, keeping that balance. And he's a touch steadier there. It comes home with that nice double clear today, 47.33. It is clear. And it heads second at the moment. Alberto Sanchez into second with Equinox de la Pomme. Some really nice turns in there today. Carlos Melaflar coming forward next. Marichule Sia. Carlos is ridden at the top of the sport. Let's see how competitive he's going to be today. This horse eats the ground a little bit. Can turn well. But again, he's just protecting that delicate vertical. Now I think he'll just open up a little bit round here. And we'll get that time check as he comes down through the double here. I think he's going to be a little bit steadier. He's been a bit more conservative. He's got some good turns. He's been using the gears. This is a very good setup for World Cup here on Saturday for this pair, assuming that is his plan. And this is a double clear that will be slotting in to third place, 52.50 into third there. And just 2 left to come, 2 left. Hi to Nancy Rivers, who's joined us from chilly and snowy Maine. I almost feel I have to apologise for how warm and sunny and lovely it is here. Royal Rose says it's chilly and snowy in Montana too. If it's any consolation, it was chilly when I left the UK last week. And I'll be heading back there on Sunday. Only for a few days before I go to Florida. So sunshine. We might just have a little short pause in the action, and that's because our next rider is Anashio Marin, who's already leading with his first ride. This is the score that you can see on your screen and the standings so far. Anashio Marin at the top, Alberto Sanchez in second, and Carlos Melfala in third place. So that's our top 3 at this stage. 3 double clears. And our next partnership will be coming forward in just a moment. The warm-up here not far away from the main arena. There's a kind of rubbered walkway to bring them up from the warm-up into the competition arena. The tower you can see on your screen there, that's where the judges sit, the ground jury. It's got to be a minimum of 3 ground jury members up in that box as well, but they're also joined by Longines Timing, the official timekeeper of the World Cup series. So they're based up there as well, making sure that the times are spot on and perfect. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. We've talked a little bit about the course designers. I mentioned that the ground jury there, there's also a team of stewards, 5 FEI stewards at these events who are there to make sure that the horses are being well cared for down at the stables, that they've got absolutely everything they need to protect welfare up here as well, to make sure that there's nothing going on that shouldn't be. And the horses are inspected as they come into the ring and out the ring. They do boot inspections as well. They take the boots off and check the horses' boots, make sure that they are all spot on and perfect. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes here, and so much of it targeted towards horse welfare. Yeah, it really is the number one in our sport. Sal says they're in Monaco. We're not in Monaco, we're definitely not. If we did, I got on the wrong plane. But no, we're in Puebla in Mexico. I'm not quite sure what the altitude is, but it's as high as you can get, I think. I mean, probably not, we're not on Everest, but it's we're up in the mountains. We're at the level with the volcano that we can see from the ring. There's our next one coming forward. This is Ignacio Marin coming back with the second ride. Comes in with some great confidence, already leading. It's his own time to beat, 45.91. Let's see what he's going to do with this horse. This is Cortez. Looks like he's been very competitive with this one as well. Starts off at a good pace, gets a couple of nice turns already. Just catches that. Sits on the 4 now. That was a shame because this was even faster than his first one. But good 4-fault round could still get you into 4th place. That's what he's going to be keeping in the back of his mind as he pushes on round there. Oh, but the final one comes down as well. So 8 faults in total. 44.21, fastest time we've seen throughout this jump off. Faster than his time with the other horse. If he'd stayed on the 4, he'd be in 4th place. But that rail's pushed him down into 7th. And there's just one left to come. Gracia de la Garza had qualified 2 horses for this jump off, pulled one of them out, and is focusing the attention on this one. Tintoretta Lucia, going to be our last to go in this jump off. He's got to be clear, and he's got to be home within 45.91. Let's see how this final chapter is going to unfold here in Puebla. Well, we've got our answer, and that's Marin will take that win here. but he could still be riding for 4th place. Not now though. It's going to drop him down the leaderboard. But you know, he's still going to get some good prize money because he qualified for the jump off, so everyone that qualified is going to get some good prize money. So that's the good news. Obviously a little bit frustrating because this horse jumped really nicely in the first round. Just a couple of little mistakes in the jump off, but the pressure was on today. But yeah, he's just staying on the 8 faults here, just giving this horse a nice ride home, setting up for next time, making sure the horse has a nice, comfortable, confident finish. Yeah, and pops nicely down over the last. So finishes on 17 in total, 68 seconds. But again, he'll still pick up some good prize money there and will finish in 9th. Well, that concludes our jump off, and we say many congratulations. Nacho Marin will take that win. One of the 3 double clears, but the one that came home with that fastest time of 45.91 to take the victory. Alberto Sanchez, Kozar, Equinox de la Palme finishing up in 2nd, and Carlos Milafler finishing up in 3rd today. That's our top 3. You can see the lower placings on your screen. I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone who has been watching online, whether it's on Clip My Horse, on YouTube, on Facebook, and a special thank you to everyone that's been getting involved with the conversation. It's been great to have your company. Don't forget, we'll have another competition for you live on YouTube and on Facebook on Sunday. Tomorrow you can enjoy all the action on Clip My Horse. Saturday we've got the big one, the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Puebla, coming your way on Saturday. Only available on Clip My Horse though, or of course on television. Depending on where you are, and there will be highlights of that competition on various TV networks around the world, so you can join me for that on TV. But I'll be back with you on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Clip My Horse on Sunday. You can keep an eye on the times and the start list and the results and all that good stuff on longinetiming.com. But a huge thank you to everybody who has been tuning in, who has been getting involved with the conversation. And I will see you again very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are around the world. And from all the team here in Puebla, you'll enjoy the prize giving ceremony next. And I'll see you again very soon.
su obstáculo es 4 por exceso en 36-29 para Juan Pablo Arriaga. En la pista, Regina Salinas, Tobias La Capara. Alberto Sanchez.
Bien, vamos a proceder a la ceremonia de premiación. Le damos la bienvenida al ganador de esta 150 Open Class de Argentina, Ignacio Morín, que montó a Conchado. Nos hacen el favor de premiar el presidente de la Federación Ecuestre Mexicana, Juan Manuel Cosío, y los representantes de Banorte. Le vamos a pedir al público se ponga de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Argentina en honor al ganador. Gracias. La representante de Banorte le entrega un premio a nuestro ganador, Ignacio Morín. El presidente de la Federación Ecuestre Mexicana, Juan Manuel Cosío, le entrega el trofeo al ganador de esta 150 Open Class. La comitiva de premiación pasa a felicitar al segundo lugar de México, Alberto Sanchez, montó a Equinox de la POM. El tercer lugar de Chile, Carlos Milfeller, que montó a Maricucha LS. El comité pasa a felicitar al cuarto lugar de Uruguay, Juan Manuel Luzardo, que montó a Quismo Durlu. Y el quinto lugar de México, Juan Pablo Jiménez Torres, que montó a Aircraft One. Y bien, el ganador de esta 150 Open Class de Argentina, Ignacio Morín, nos hará el honor de encabezar la vuelta de la victoria. Ignacio. Felicidades, jinetes. Ganador de la 150 Open Class, Ignacio Morín, Alberto Sánchez Cosar, Carlos Milfeller, Juan Manuel Luzardo,